Call to order the meeting of the Putnam County Zoning Board of Zoning Appeals. Today is Thursday, April 10th, 2025, and it is 6:30 p.m. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hodge, will you please call the roll?
All right, Mr. Stone Street,
Here.
Tony Hodge here, Jesse Parker not here, Mr. Stewart's
Here.
Jared Tolley absent. We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge. Next item on the agenda is the election of the president, vice president, and secretary for 2025. I believe at the last meeting, we proposed to nominate the same slate as the existing officers. Is that correct?
As far as I recall, yes.
And that would be Mr. Tully as president, myself as vice president, and Mr. Hodge as secretary. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Any comments from other board members on that proposed slate? I will entertain a motion to approve that slate of officers for 2025.
I move that we approve the slate of officers as spoken about.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is action on the December 12th, 2024 minutes. Have members of the board in attendance had a chance to review those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. And I will, or Mr. Hodge will sign the minute. As presiding officer.
Yeah.
The minutes from the December 12th, 2024 meeting have been signed by Mr. Hodge and myself as the presiding officer. Next item on the agenda is citizen concerns. Do we have any citizen concerns other than the special permit application that is the next item on the agenda? Hearing none. All right, we will move on to the public hearing on the special permit application. Before we go into that, does any member of the board have a conflict with presiding over the hearing with respect to that application?
I do not.
No.
All right. So we will open the public hearing now. We'll start with a presentation by staff, and then we'll move on to comments from the applicant and any public comments. Keep in mind that all comments that are presented should be directed to the board. Please request to be recognized by the chair prior to commenting, and you'll be asked to come forward and be sworn before we receive your testimony. Each speaker of the public will be allowed to speak once, and the comment time may be limited. The public hearing is held to receive comments and is not a forum for debate. With that, I'll turn it over to staff to present the application.
Okay, we're here to review the special permit application submitted by Michael Young for a proposed off-site constructed single-family dwelling to be located at 19607 Winfield Road in Fraser's Bottom on tax map 151, parcel 14.5. The application requests approval for the installation of a single-family dwelling on a parcel zoned C2 high-density commercial. The residential use of the commercially zoned property requires special consideration from this board. The vote will be to approve or to deny the special permit request as presented. The application is reviewed in light of state code and county zoning ordinance. The relevant provisions include Article 8A, Section 8 of West Virginia State Code, and Articles 150, 650, 1100, 1150, 1700, and 2100 of the zoning ordinance for the zoned unincorporated areas of Putnam County, West Virginia. These provisions are detailed over the first 7 pages of your packet, and they outline the conditions under which a special permit may be granted. Mr. Young has owned the property for approximately 12 years since purchasing it from his uncle. He has maintained its use as farmland. The subject parcel is approximately 17.35 acres with about 335 feet of frontage on Route 817. Although the parcel is zoned C2, the surrounding uses are mixed and include things like residential uses, a couple of small businesses, undisturbed woodland, and farmlands. A Google Earth image of the property and the zoning map are included as attachments A and B. On the zoning map included, Mr. Young's parcel is outlined in blue. The parcels around it are zoned C2 high-density commercial if they're red. The pink is C1 suburban commercial, and the yellow are zoned RR rural residential. Parcel 15 abuts the subject property and is zoned C2. It has a single-family residence currently on it, as well as the cable and fiber installation business that belongs to the family who lives on the parcel. There is a single-family residence located on each of the commercially zoned parcels to the east and south of this property. The nearest residence is located approximately 220 feet from Mr. Young's proposed house seat. Mr. Young is requesting the special permit to place a 27 by 64-foot factory-built home on the property. The home meets Class A requirements, including vital signing, a pitched and shingled roof, and a permanent foundation of masonry or concrete. That's outlined on the application submitted by the applicant. It's included as attachment C. The site plan was also submitted and is included as attachment D. While the parcel does have FEMA's 100-year floodplain mapped within its boundaries, the proposed dwelling, denoted by the black X on the site plan, is located outside of the flood hazard area. The water service will be provided by West Virginia American Water, and the property will utilize a individual sewage disposal system because sewer service is not available to the site. The board has previously approved similar requests for single-family dwellings in the C2 district. There are 6 examples listed under item 17 in your packet. Mr. Young also submitted a written response to Article 1100.05 to address the general considerations for special permit uses and an image of the proposed structure, which are included as attachment E and F. And additionally, Chapter 5 of the county's comprehensive plan is included as attachment G. The special permit request was legally advertised in the Hurricane Breeze on March 20th, and notices were mailed to adjacent property owners on March 17th, and a public hearing notice was posted on site. To date, no public comment has been received.
Thank you very much. Any questions of staff, board members? Is the, I think you addressed this, but I just want to make sure, is the structure otherwise compliant with all of the ordinances in terms of building style and design, size, and everything like that?
Yes, it meets all the requirements of the Class A single-family dwelling, which is the special permitted use for the zoning district.
One other question. Is the house marked with an X on this drawing?
Yes.
I'm sorry, talking to the microphone. It's a house lot.
Is the house marked with an X on the drawing?
Yes, the black X.
Okay. And we're not going to move any overburden back into the flood zone, are we not? Are we? Is that a requirement, the specification?
He will not be in the flood
Okay,
zone.
but he's not going to move any of the overburden from the house back into the flood? Okay, okay. I know that's really prone to flooding down there. I just don't want to open up that can of worms.
Any other questions of staff? All right. Is the applicant present? Yes. Mr. Young, would you like to speak in support of your application?
I can, if you guys want me to. Are you eager to get home?
Well, let me say this. It is up to you as to whether you want to present any additional color or information that is not otherwise already been addressed by staff. You don't have to. If any of the board members have any questions, then we'd ask you answer those. I think Mr. Stewart just had one question with respect to moving any overburden. But let me try it this way. Other than your question, is there any other questions of the app?
No.
All right. Would you like the applicant to answer your question? Or are you satisfied with the statements of
I'm
staff?
satisfied. I know Melissa will be looking over her shoulder.
Okay. All right. Well, then the board has no questions, so unless you have anything additional you'd like to offer, then we can proceed on the papers that have been presented.
Okay. I would like to add a couple of things.
All right. Well, before you do, you'll have to come up and be sworn, and then you can add that.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if you don't care to stay right here so I can hear you.
Okay. I forgot to mention when I made the application that there is going to be a two-car garage, so it's slightly bigger footprint. The road's going to come in, it's going to come in from the side. So I forgot to mention that, because it wasn't part of the housing plan that I showed you. I don't know, I think it's 29 feet.
Is that a separate structure?
No, it's attached. It's attached, it's just attached to the building.
Okay.
I can amend that later or whatever, I should have done it before now. And then the other thing is, I'd like to know when the sewage, or if we're getting sewer down here, because the rumor is we're getting sewer. If it's a pretty good chance we'll get sewer, it's going to be that far, I would rather use the county sewer system rather than build a septic system, because that's about $16,000, like I say. And I talked to Mrs. Newcomb at the health department today. I was told that she might have some information about it, so I'm still waiting on that. In the meantime, I might use, if it's pretty certain that it's going to come in a pretty reasonable period of time, and it's going to go that far down to Andy's restaurant, then I may want to use some temporary sewage until that's what sewage. So I don't know if those would have a bearing.
All right, well, let's do it this way. With respect to the additional distance to cover the attached garage, I would ask staff as to whether that makes any difference in terms of compliance with the zoning ordinances as it applies to the design of structures to be placed.
No, the Class A single-family dwelling has to meet a certain size, but there is no maximum size. So adding an attached garage to the structure won't make it non-compliant in any way.
All right. Then with respect to the sewer, I'm assuming that in order to approve this, one of the criteria is that there is some sort of recognized operational sewer system or septic system for the property. I'm assuming that, but I'm asking staff whether that's the case, and if we approve this as presented with the septic system, is that any barrier to the applicant later switching over to a public septic system later?
No, as long, your decision tonight really doesn't have any bearing on whether he uses individual sewage disposal system or public sewer.
All right. Okay. Do any other members of the board have any other follow-up questions on those two items?
No.
Anything else you'd like to offer, Mr. Young?
Well, you better be careful because I'm a professor and I can talk for hours and hours and hours. Well, let me give you a little bit of family background. I was telling Mr. Stewart before that this piece of property has been in my family continuously since 1805. And I recall it from my grandmother, who was a teacher at Winfield Elementary School for years, Geraldine Young. I don't know, used to be a lot of people around Winfield that had her as a teacher. And when she passed away, she divided into three sections. One was my Uncle Jerry, one was my Aunt Darlene Geyer, Cheney Geyer. You may be familiar with her, she was also a teacher at Winfield Elementary for years. And then the other part was my father, who just passed on March 9th, at 85 years old. And so I'm in line to inherit the other piece of property. And so those whole three pieces used to be, in my memory, it was where my mama, Mama Young, worked. And so I grew up playing in that barn. But, no, I'm a graduate of Buffalo High School, graduated E2, just very briefly, honestly, now shut. And I went to West Virginia State University, where I now teach as a professor. And I graduated from there, and I got my PhD at the University of Connecticut, and I've lived in Hong Kong for 19 years. So I'm kind of semi-retired. I came back on staff state for 4 years, and this job opened up at the state. So I've been there for 4 years. And so now, I was just over Winfield High School today, talking to local kids about a new program we have, the Toyota Leadership Development Program. And I'm trying to encourage young Putnam County people to stay in the area. We have a new program with Toyota, which is the Leadership Development Program. So I guess you could say I'm kind of an interesting character with a long history here, but also some experience outside of the country. So if that could be of use to the planning commissioner in any way, just kind of saying you're aware of it.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Young. We appreciate the context and the background very much, and I'm glad to have you back in the county.
In fact, not to turn this into a promotional opportunity, but here are a couple of programs we're doing at West Virginia State right now. I just contacted a lady at Boca, and I want to go there and talk to people. We have a couple of students that just went into, or just got awarded a full ride scholarship at Hong Kong Baptist University, where I used to teach. It's worth about $50,000. They get a scholarship to take a master's degree, and they get a living stipend. These are West Virginia State University graduates. One is from Boca, and the other one is an international student from Argentina. And then the other is some information about the Leadership Development Program. And what I would like for you to do is kind of spread the word. If you know any young people that are kind of interested in staying in the area, we need to give them an opportunity. Toyota, we have a Leadership Development Program with Toyota, in which we've got one of the corporate trainers, Dr. Sean Rivera, that I'm working with. He teaches a course called the Toyota Way, and after a sequence of courses, they get to go into management training position. For 2 years, they rotate them, $75,000 a year starting out. Then after that, they can go anywhere in the world that Toyota has a position on. So these are two opportunities that I'm trying to push. And I'm focusing on Putnam County because that's my home.
Well, we certainly appreciate that information, and once we conclude the hearing, we would love to have the materials.
Right.
And then we'll, all right. Any other comments from any members of the public or anybody else? Hearing none. All right. Having all that, I will now close the public hearing. All right, public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion to adopt the factual record?
I'll make a motion to adopt the factual record, which would include staff summary, as well as comments from the public.
Okay, we have a
I'll second that.
motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, factual record is adopted. We will now move to rendering a decision on the application. We have in our packets, page 10, there are a list of the different considerations for addressing the special permit, and then there's our handy chart that we have. We can walk through this list now. Everybody has that in front of them. So first criteria is that the use will not discourage the development or impair the value of surrounding adjacent land and use districts. I'll invite comments on whether the board members find that to be true or false.
I'll say it's true. There's nothing that was presented to us that would cause this particular development to be out of character for the area, so I think that's a true criteria.
Mr. Stewarts, do you agree?
I agree.
All right. The second criteria is the concentration and volume of vehicles in connection with the use will not be more dangerous or hazardous than usual traffic and use of the use district. Mr. Hodge?
I would say that's true as well. There was no facts presented to us that would indicate that the applicant will be having any other kind of traffic other than just his normal household traffic.
Mr. Stewarts, do you
I
agree?
agree with that.
All right. The third criteria, proposed use will not produce a negative impact upon the abutting or surrounding properties and zoning uses given the characteristics, size, location, intensity, and nature of the proposed use in any structure. Mr. Hodge?
I would say that's true. We're talking about just a single-family home, so it does not, is not out of character as far as size, location, intensity, and nature, just because it's a home. So I would say true on that.
Mr. Stewarts,
I
do you
agree.
agree? Next criteria is the location, extent, arrangement, and intensity of the proposed use is to be such that its operation will not be objectionable to adjacent and surrounding uses by reason of noise, smoke, dust, odors, fumes, vibrations, or glare. Mr. Hodge?
I'll say true. Given it's a single-family home, I do not foresee any kind of excessive noise, smoke, dust, odors, fumes, vibrations, or glare that would impose upon the neighboring properties.
Mr. Stewarts, do you agree?
I agree.
Next criteria, the use, arrangement of, and location of uses and structures must be compatible with surrounding uses and zones or is capable of being made compatible through the imposition of conditions. Mr. Hodge?
Yeah, I think this property is it's definitely made compatible with the surrounding area, so I see no issue there. So I would say true.
Mr. Stewarts?
I think it's a good use of the land, yes.
You agree that it's true?
Yes.
All right. Next criteria, the use and structures is not detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of the locality involved. Mr. Hodge?
We have no evidence that this would negatively affect health, safety, or welfare being a single-family home, so I would say true on that.
I agree.
Next criteria, the use and structures conform to the purpose, intent, and objectives of this zoning ordinance.
I would say yes. It's a good fit over there where he plans to build. There's nothing that stands out to me, so I'm going to go true on that.
Mr.
I
Stewarts?
agree.
Last criteria, the proposed use is properly located in relation to any adopted master plan, general plan, land use plan, thoroughfare plan, or street plan, particularly in its relation to existing collection and local street systems and pedestrian circulation.
I foresee no negative impacts at all. It's related to what was just described, so I'm going to say true on that.
Mr. Stewarts?
Again, I say it's good use of the land. I agree.
Now that we've discussed all the relevant factors, the chair will entertain a motion on whether to approve or deny the application.
I make a motion that we approve the application.
I'll second.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The application, Dr. Young, has been approved by the board. And we have a proposed order, I think, here for me to sign, correct?
We need to move that?
What's that? Yes.
Okay, I'll move that the president is authorized to sign the approved order.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, with the approval of the board, I will execute the approval order and indicate that the board voted to approve the application, and the application is hereby. All right. Thank you, Dr. Young. Next item we have on the agenda is a staff report.
Only thing to report, we gave you guys new binders for the ordinances, and we have a meeting scheduled for May 8th, but at this moment, we don't have anything on the agenda.
What is the deadline for there to be something on the agenda for the 8th?
15-day ad.
Okay. So,
Not quick.
week or two?
Less than that.
Yeah, less than that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. All right, well, I assume you will let us know if we're needed. All right, anything else from staff? Any unfinished business? Not aware of any. Any new business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned.